Shelton, of course, if we would have hit you up a week ago, the story of the week across college football was
Oh,
Jaden Rashada.
yeah.
We don't need to dig up the whole storyline. If people don't know it, shoot, you're either not a college football fan or you've been on vacation, whatever the deal is. You know, you can follow that elsewhere because everybody's pretty much up to speed in regards to how that played out. Now it's more about the ramifications for Florida and also across college football, because for everybody that maybe wears Florida State colors or Miami colors or some other colors that hates Florida, Georgia, you can chuckle about the situation and have a good laugh, but hey, you might be next. So this can continue to happen. And based on the feedback I've received from other people, it has already happened, just not to this degree where it became a big story, a big national story. So just some of your thoughts about Jaden Rashada and the Florida aftermath and how this may hurt the program or maybe not.
Yeah, I think Nick Del Toro wrote an article just the other day, and we talked about it yesterday on our show. And I think he kind of cleared the air a little bit. I think he cleared all names involved to a certain extent. And what I mean by that is I think Florida is staying clear of this from what he said, because how it looked like it broke down was it was a third party involved with the Gator Collective. The Gator Collective caught that there was a mishap or a miscommunication with the contract between the third party and the Rashadas, and basically said, hey, we got to fix this here. And nothing got fixed, which is what led to the termination of the contract. And then it went further than that. And where it ended up being was it happened. They got terminated, I believe, like on the 7th, and they still ended up signing with the Gators. And so that kind of spoke to, okay, well, who is, speaking to Jaden, who's informing Jaden, like, hey, you should continue to sign. And so it kind of broke it down to where it looked like maybe Rashadas Camp made a mistake. Not necessarily Jaden, but the people around him were saying, hey, this is something that you should go after. This is something you should continue to pursue. That's going to get worked out. It's going to get figured out. And obviously it didn't get figured out. So I think it's going to go by the wayside. ESPN ran with it pretty heavily when it first came out, which did drag Florida through the mud a little bit. But the good thing about news is that it goes away pretty quickly. We kind of spoke about this on the show, I think a few weeks ago. It feels like we've been in the major news 4 times this past year. The first being when Anthony changed his name from AR-15 to AR. Not necessarily negative, but was a publicly news story because of it being politically driven. And then we had the situation with Marcus Stokes, with him being released from Florida Gators due to the rap song that he was participating in. Then we had the Kidness situation, and now Jaden. I was like, look, at some point, any news is good news. And that's kind of what we have to kind of hang our hat on. Is like, look, right now, yes, Florida State, Georgia, Miami, they can all poke and have some fun. And trust me, they are, as they should. It's part of the game. But I think how it's kind of close. I feel bad for Jaden too. I really do. I think some people are kind of overlooking at it. But look, he got offered the money, regardless of that, whether he deserved it or not. He was offered that at some point. And so there's no wrong for him wanting that or expecting that or thinking he would get that. And now he's kind of left, looking around, trying to find a home here in the last few weeks with signing day coming up. I know they can kind of sign a little bit after that, but kind of put him into an uncomfortable situation. So I do feel bad for him and what's going to happen with his future.